If you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll know that the Blue Eyes White Dragon is one of the most iconic monsters of all time. So much so that even people who don't know Yu-Gi-Oh have heard of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Unfortunately, when it comes to the modern card game, Blue Eyes hasn't quite had that same threatening aura for a very long time. Until now. Join me as I document my journey starting from a single structure deck, trading, upgrading, and dueling my way with Blue Eyes to the top of the competitive ladder. Let's make Kaiba proud in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly, Season 3. Aye! Subscribe. Yo, do you like my new shirt? Lackluster Soldier, man. Goes hard. Look at that. So cool, dude. Nationals is a month and a half away, and of course, we're going to be playing our Blue Eyes deck there. Which variant of Blue Eyes, you ask? We have 6 weeks to not only mess around with all the different variations and combo lines, but also to figure out the new post-Alliance Insight format, how we can play into popular non-engine cards. We need to acquire our own non-engine cards, the good ones like, you know, the Molcharmies and whatnot. And of course, we then need to learn where to optimally use our interruptions against the other best decks. Not to mention the fact that Battles of Legend also comes out literally the week of Nationals, so Orcust, Dragon Maid, they're all going to be playable on that weekend. So it's fair to say that there is a lot to do, and arguably not enough time to do it all. That being said, Lordly Load does get reprinted in Battles of Legend that releases the week of Nationals, so it's not too unrealistic of a possibility that we can land on a Primite build. We'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, last episode we acquired our Black Metal Dragons, rounding out our Metamorph package, and so we got to start playing that build and got another Locals win under our belt. Today, we continue to improve that build. Hopefully we can pick up the Relinquished Anima I mentioned in the last episode. I still need to get that in a trade. And then we can go for the back-to-back Locals win, baby. But yeah, another £30 in our pocket here. Let's go pull a Magia. But first, massive shout out to these goats for supporting the channel and getting to watch this episode early. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Alright, we are once again doing our opening here in the back rooms of the Thistle Tavern. Once again, at Locals today, don't really need anything desperately out of these packs. I guess a Typhon could go like straight in the deck if we pull that. But other than that, all I really want to play extra today is a Relinquished Anima, so that we can get some pressure going second on the Metamorph engine. But let's see what we get, baby. We have Destructive Druma, Karma Cannon, and I thought that was a QC right off the bat. Pendulum Sorcerer, Platinum Secret Rare. Oh, Secret Tsuchinoko. This takes me back to Soul Fusion, man. Ghost Ogre. Do we have any of these? No, we don't. Okay, I forgot that was in here. Cruise Crusader, sick. Cross Crusader, what am I talking about? Ghost Ogre. We can get our playset just from opening this set. Alright, Frulos. Magia, let's see what we get. Just waiting for the QC shine. Meteonis Drytron, we have High Five the Sky. What the hell is this? Anime reference, obviously, but I don't think I've seen that card in my life. Ooh, Secret Transaction Rollback. We have a Lunalite Tiger and, bro, doubling up on the rollback. Hell yeah. Is that worth anything? Maybe like £2. Alright, 2 more packs. Come on, give me a Typhon, please. We have Caesar Valius. QCR? Oh, it's an effect monster. It could be good. Let's see, what do we have? QCR Tsuchinoko, baby. Okay, once again, I think I need this for treasure hunters, but if we can trade it away, we can trade it away. We have, oh, Ultimate Rare, the Dark Magicians. That's really nice. And Platinum Secret Baby Saurus and Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. Okay, as long as we get a QCR, we're golden. We got a QCR, we're happy. Oh, Ash Blossom. We already have a playset, so I guess that's also trade bait. Platinum Secret Rare. Another Erebus, dude. It's all the doubling up here. Zodiac Barrage, we got a Collector's Rare, Dark Burning Magic, and a Amlo Whale. Okay, no Typhon, Sedge. Alright, see if we can trade any of this away. Thanks, Jeff. Woo! We got some real juicy trades today. Not so much in terms of quantity, but the quality, man. There's some really good cards here. So, from Jamie, we got a copy of Pot of Prosperity. We're only ever going to be banishing 3 with this when we play it, but it's a nice little consistency piece for the deck. Pot of Prosperity, very nice. Although with Droll going around, this becomes kind of iffy. But yeah, Prosperity, very good to have. Lovely little prismatic secret rare version there. From Jamie, we also got a copy of Crossart Designator in matching rarity. Megaton prismatic secret rare. I don't know if this goes in the side deck or if we even want to play it, to be honest, because we can generally play around quite a lot of hand traps. But yeah, just in case, we have picked up the one copy of Crossart, in case we want to like go first, side it in and like cross out a draw, or maybe even like a Nibiru, you know, there's some cards that can be scary in certain game states, and hopefully Crossart can sort of deal with those. And then the final card from Jamie we got was a Relinquished Anima secret rare from Brothers of Legend. Was kind of hoping for the QCR, but yeah, he had a secret rare. Still nice and shiny. This was the main pickup I wanted for our deck today, because going second with the Black Metal engine, we can apply pressure by going into this and then threatening an SP banish as well. Although, in testing, nobody plays into Anima anymore. Like, I was hoping we could maybe catch some people off guard, but nope, nobody summons into Anima columns. So yeah, we got these three from Jamie for the ultimate rare Dark Magicians that we pulled. Dude, that was money. That was like £7 for no reason. Literally, I don't know why that card's expensive. And then a bunch of the other like Dark Magician kind of platinum secret rares and stuff that we had, like the Ayatamias. So yeah, very, very nice trade there. Then from Reese, we got our first copy of Lightning Storm. Of course, this is semi-limited. We do want to play 2 in the deck, ideally, if we are playing it. Side deck, of course. Maybe there's no room in the side in this competitive format for things like Lightning Storm, but we'll see. For now, this is much better than the Cosmic Cyclones that we're currently playing with. From Reese, we also got the first card of maybe the next engine that we're going to play. Platinum Secret Rare Alistair, the Invoker, the original art. I prefer this art so much, dude. I think the alt art looks ass. But yeah, 1 Alistair down, 2 to go. And then maybe 3 Meltdown, 1 Invocation, 1 Mechaba. Or like 2 Invocation, 2 Mechaba, maybe 1 Aguades. I don't know, man. I don't know yet. We're not venturing into the Invoked engine just yet. And then from Jess, we got a copy of Typhon for the extra deck. Nice little 2-piece extra deck combo here. Typhon and Animat, very, very nice going second cards, especially into something like Raziel. Hopefully, we don't lose every time we summon this. Probably gonna have to keep track of that, like how many times we summon this and whether we actually win or lose because of it. But yeah, these 6 cards are the new additions to our collection in this episode. Very, very nice. I'm now going to play around with the deck a bit, rearrange some ratios and whatnot, and see what we come out the other end with before taking it to locals. So, some very minor changes to the list today. First off, I think the Magistus stuff that we were playing in the last episode is just too much of a meme, obviously. Dedicating 2 or 3 extra deck spots to very specific matchups, and specifically game 3 of those matchups, is just not worth it. You're not getting enough value out of your extra deck spaces at that point. So if we do end up keeping the Ancient Fairy Secret Village line, I think the most efficient thing to do is just go into Crystal Wing, but that is going to require additional testing, and we would also need to pick up Crystal Wing in that case. So yeah, that's a thing. But for now, we have replaced the Magistus cards for Anima and Typhon. So 2 very nice pickups there. In terms of main deck, we have moved Secret Village to the side, finally. I don't know why I was playing it in the main deck last episode. And we also dropped 1 copy of Nibiru for Prosperity, so we're now on a 44 card list. I am also thinking about cutting 1 for 1 because it's just kind of like awkward sometimes. You'll see it in hands where you only have 1 monster and it's like Sage, so you want to normal summon Sage and then you can't really activate 1 for 1 if it gets impermed or anything. Side deck, we have ditched the silly Magistus cards in place of a Crossout and a Black Meteor Dragon that, you know, is to side in going second to still get value out of the Black Metal package. And then we've also replaced 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone for the new Lightning Storm that we got, very nice card, and of course the Secret Village that we took out of the main deck. So all around, just really tidying things up, you know, still making little upgrades to every part of the deck. We're still making progress every step of the way, and that feels good. Now this part of the video is where things are gonna get a little unhinged, because you see, I entered the kitchen. When playing this deck, sometimes you'll only see Metalmorph cards, and other times you'll only see Blue Eyes cards. With only 3 Black Metal Dragon in the deck, that's gonna happen pretty often. Ideally, you want to set up both of your engines to ensure that you win, and so I wanted to see if I could figure out a way to do this more consistently. Having both engines with level 1 starters makes things real interesting, because that synergy leaves the door open to something like Where Art Thou? This card says if you control a level 1 monster, you can add a level 1 monster from your deck. and this card is not a hard once per turn. Think of the possibilities, man. If you normal summon Black Metal Dragon, this can search Sage. Or if you normal summon Sage and Sage gets negated, this can search Maiden. If you have all your engines, it can search Droll, or Veiler, or DD Crow, or if you're going second, you can even search for Kurikara. This card is nuts, man, but it doesn't do what I initially wanted it to do, and that was getting us to both engines. If we don't have Black Metal Dragon, where Arthur doesn't work here because we'd need to normal summon a level 1 to search for it, and then we wouldn't be able to summon Black Metal Dragon because the additional normal from the field spell only works on light tuners. But what if we were able to special summon a level 1 that actually worked with our strategy? There's two really good ways of doing that. The first being Magician's Souls. Souls actually does 4 things for us. It's a spellcaster, so it would allow us to go into the link 1 if needed. It's a free level 1 special from hand, so it would allow Where Art Thou to search something like Black Metal Dragon. It can draw as cards for free by sending things like the equipped monster from Wishes, or the field spell to grave if we no longer need it. And finally, it puts Illusion of Chaos in the graveyard, making Dragon Master Magia a very strong possibility. This doesn't require any bricks either, because Illusion of Chaos just searches for Magician's Souls, so very nice. The second way of special summoning a level 1 body is with Fiendsmith. Both the token from Sanct and Lurry are level 1. The Fiendsmith engine actually has a bunch of synergies with our deck because you can discard Lurry with Wishes and get the summon back, and you can also get a free draw from Necroquip by activating Maiden in hand. And then going second, even your Black Metal engine could lead itself into Closed Moon and then into the Fiendsmith combos before even committing to any Blue Eyes cards. I know I sound like an absolute madman, but I'm not even done with the possibilities. We haven't touched the extra deck yet, man. We could do something like Thrust for Harpy's Featherstorm and make Fucho. Formula Synchron could be real easy to make, opening up new Chaos Angel and Dispatter lines, but the extra deck can only hold so many cards, so that's a limiting factor. What if we played a little Kashtira engine? That opens up potential level 8 synchro options as well, and of course Unicorn is really good right now because Detonator is at 1, and the Malice links are only played at 1 each. There is so much to consider, and yes, all of this loses even harder to draw, but there's something really, really cool there, and this absolute pile is something I would love to explore. We'll see though, man. Grandpa forgot to take his crazy pills. I'm sorry, let's reel it back in and get our ass to locals for the back-to-back win. Alright, in the hot seat today we have Savas playing the most successful deck in terms of YCS wins as of recent, and that is Memento, but with Fiendsmith. We lose the dice roll, so we're going second. It's funny because I'm pretty sure this locals we lost every dice roll, whereas the locals in the last episode we won every dice roll. But yeah, let's get into it. It's time to duel. I've lost every dice roll, man. Fuck. You going first?
Yeah, please.
Cool. Alright, good luck, have fun. Memento is one of those decks I hate playing against because there's so many different lines depending on the cards you have in hand, and there's too many different effects to keep up with. I ain't reading all that shit, you know? Savas starts by normal summoning Anguich and adding the horse, special summoning the horse and activating its effect to pop 1 and dump 2, but I do chain the Ash Blossom to stop that. It's one of like the main choke points of the deck, and the reason we hit it with Ash instead of Veiler is because they can dodge the Veiler with something like Bone Party or the Goblin spell. Savas then follows up with his Fiendsmith cards, so activating Engraver by sending it to grave, he adds Fiendsmith's Tract, and then just straight up activates the Tract, adding Lurry, and of course discarding Lurry. Mandatory effect of Lurry to summon itself back. Linking into the Requiem, he just activates the Requiem effect to summon Lacrima from deck, and Lacrima dumps another Engraver. This deck seems to use Fiendsmith differently. Like every time I see Fiendsmith cards going first, I always assume it's going to be like Caesar Pass, but Savas links into Sequence and activates the effect. Sequence is obviously going to be a very good target for the effect Veiler because from my point of view, he's threatening a Death Array, and you know, trading a Veiler for a Death Array is really good. What he was actually trying to do though was summon the Chimera Baphomet, who then dumps a Fiend monster, which would be Memento Goblin, and then you make Cross Sheep and make Necroquip Princess under Cross Sheep to revive the Goblin and keep going with your Memento combos. Honestly, that's a really cool line, but we stopped it, so cry about it, you know? From here, Savas links Sequence and Anguich into the Agnum Day, and then activates the effect of Agnum Day, reborning the Engraver and equipping itself, allowing him to then contact fuse into a Necroquip Princess. I can't speak, man, but yeah, activates Engraver, Engrave to summon itself back, shuffling back the Lurry, and then overlays into Caesar, sets a mysterious back row, and passes it over to us. Honestly, quite respectable, you know, still 2 interruptions, plus a potential 3rd interruption in the back row after getting hand trapped twice. I start off with Wishes as our first search, adding Maiden and Roar to play around any lingering draws. We don't get hit with a draw on res, so we are free to go. Normal summon Black Metal Dragon and link into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, grabbing the field spell and Red MD. One of the benefits of the Metamorph package is the fact that you can just play into Caesar like it's nothing. Because Red MD is not an activated effect to summon, it can't be stopped by the Caesar. So we banish to link 1 to summon Red MD, activate the field spell, and go field spell effect target Red MD with the intention of dumping Blue Eyes to then attack over the Caesar. Savas chains Droplet, sending 2 Fuwa from hand to grave. Obviously on accident he should have sent 1, but now we know that he has no further interruptions. If he had saved the Droplet for when we attack, then he would have been in a much better position, but now we are free to just normal summon Maiden, link into the relinquished Anima, and then make an SP Little Knight targeting the Caesar to banish it. This is going to make his Fu alive. He changed it in response to our Roar, but we can play around it just by summoning the Blue Eyes from the graveyard and then activating the Maiden to summon it itself back as well. On resolution, he's going to activate Lacrima in graveyard to summon the Requiem, and then activate the Requiem effect on summon to summon Lacrima, and then Lacrima is going to dump another Engraver. So I guess you just don't play Paradise. It wouldn't matter anyway because we're just not going to summon any more monsters. We do Wishes, equip the Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes to our Blue Eyes, go Maiden effect on field to place the True Light, and then go into the battle phase. SP is going to beat over the Lacrima. Of course, we can't attack directly, so there's no point trying to push for damage. Savas was asking about the Dragon Lock on Roar, but you're only locked after you activate the card, so yeah, no issues there with the SP Little Knight on field. Main phase 2, we're setting Majesty off of the effect of True Light, and then follow up with a Pot of Prosperity. We are just going to banish 3 and hopefully draw into 1 more interruption to seal the deal. We see Ash. Pick that up, and it's down to Savas's top deck. I don't think there's anything that can get him out of this situation, and rightfully so, he just scoops him out. Alright, game 2, we're going second again, and my hand is super weird, dude. Our only interruption on Savas's turn is Magnamut, so let's hope that puts in some work here. He starts off with the Fiendsmith stuff. Engraver gets to Tract, gets to Lurry, gets to Requiem, gets to Lacrima, who dumps another Engraver, and then he hits a bit of a wall. I could be wrong, but I believe in this deck specifically, if you have access to Memento plays, you need to try and go through those first before going through your Fiendsmith engine, purely because you cannot special summon the horse from hand if you control anything that's not a Memento monster. Savas normal summons Memento Goblin, activates its effect destroying itself, and now gets to send 2 from the deck, but he can't quite decide which 2 to send. Meanwhile, I'm looking at my hand, and I don't know if it's like good or bad, but we have Magnamut and Eclipse as our non-engine, and then we have Black Metal Dragon, both search targets. We opened Red MD and Black Meteor Dragon, so we're kind of just hoping to top deck a Blue Eyes starter, but Savas decides to dump Gatic and Sleepy off of the effect of the Goblin. Gatic activates to summon itself back, and then on summon it would add 1 back from graveyard, but we are just going to chain the Magnamut here to prevent all of that. There's maybe a world where I recognize that Savas is struggling with a line, and maybe the Memento line doesn't get anywhere, and so I hold Magnamut for the Fiendsmith Engraver, but that would involve me knowing Memento combos. So yeah, we just Magnamut the Gatic. The effect to search a dragon in the end phase gets ashed, which I'm happy about because we have all the good dragons we need in hand. From here, Savas shuffles back the Lurry to summon back the Engraver, activates the effect of Requiem Engrave to equip to the Engraver, and then activates Engraver's on-field effect, sending the Requiem and the Magna to graveyard before linking into Fiendsmith sequence. I don't think you can make the same cross-sheet play like I mentioned in the last game, because the Goblin has already been used here, so it's literally just going to be a Desiree shuffling back the Lacrima as well, so we don't have to worry about a Paradise, and I'm happy about that because Book of Eclipse just checks the Desiree. Even then though, I do still kind of need a decent top deck because I've sided out the Full Metal and the Metamorph Trap, so Black Metal is literally only going to get me to like an SP or a Spheres on the crackback. Savas sets a mystery card in the back row and passes with 1 card left in hand, where we top deck Wishes for turn. Let's go. As long as Wishes resolves, we're pretty much in a good spot, and you can't play around Droll and Ash at the same time, so I try and bait our interruptions. We start with Eclipse on the Desiree. That forces out the Desiree negate, very nice. We've seen Savas on Ash, but not on Droll yet, so we take the gamble and use Wishes as our last card, starting off with a normal summon of Black Metal Dragon, linking into the Link 1. That is going to get hit with a Solemn Judgment, leaving us with Black Meteor, Red MD, and Wishes in hand. Red MD isn't currently live, although it could be live if we summon Black Meteor first, but we want to resolve the Wishes, so we're just going to activate the Wishes here and discard the Red MD. which gets ashed, unfortunately. With all the interruptions out of the way, the last thing we can do is summon Black Meteor by dumping a Blue Eyes for cost, overlaying into Typhon, bouncing Desiree, punch him for 2-9, and then hoping he doesn't top deck anything. There is a live engraver in Savas's graveyard, but on its own that doesn't really get very far, it just outs the Typhon, but Savas top decks the horse, so go next. Alright, game 3, we finally get to go first, and our hand is pretty correct. We got Black Metal Dragon, Imperm, Majesty, 1-for-1, and Wishes. We go Wishes, pitch the 1-for-1, because, yeah, we just don't need the 1-for-1. We add Maiden and Roar to give us plays through Droll if he has it. We don't get Drolled, so we normal summon Black Metal Dragon, link into Spirit with Eyes of Blue, adding the Field Spell and Red MD. We're gonna be able to just go full combo here, and there's not a whole lot of time on the clock, so we gotta be aware of that as well. We summon the Red MD, who reborns Black Metal Dragon, link into the Spheres, and get a search for Full Metal, activate Maiden, placing True Light, activate Roar, summoning Blue Eyes from deck. That's going to trigger the Maiden engrave to summon herself back, and then we can synchro these two into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. With Spirit on the field, we don't have to worry about a Ghost Ogre, so we can activate True Light to set, although there's no more good targets left in the deck, so I just have to set the bingo here. I guess we really didn't need to do that, but yeah, we activate Full Metal, setting the Max Metamorph trap, activate the Field Spell, and get another Blue Eyes in the graveyard for Majesty. Spirit Effect is going to tag out into the Ancient Fairy Dragon, and we're going to activate the effect, blowing up the field spell, gaining 1,000 life points for time, and adding the Secret Village of the Spellcasters to hand. Activate Secret Village, set 2, pass turn. Ancient Fairy Dragon is then supposed to die in the end phase from Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon's effect, but we forget about that. It doesn't really matter, just pretend I'm tributing the Blue Eyes that we summoned back during the draw phase for Max Metamorph here, and it's the same result. But yeah, Savas goes to main phase, normal summons Dark Blade, activates the effect, discarding Combined Creation target in the Secret Village. We chain Imperm to negate that. Now, if you think that forgetting the Ancient Fairy Dragon destruction in the end phase was bad, let me prepare you for this. I'm not sure if I'm missing something watching this back, but like a minute or two later, Dark Blade goes to the graveyard and Anguich is summoned from the deck. So I think the impermed Dark Blade just activated its other effect and it resolved. How neither of us caught that is wild to me. I guess we're both brain dead, man. This is the final round of the night, to be fair, but it's fine. It's fine. We're still gonna win, man. On summon, Anguich added a copy of Sleepy, and then because Anguich is a spellcaster, Savas is able to activate the Bone Party. I think he destroyed the Sleepy. I'm not 100% sure. We're double checking the protection, and you know, I'm just telling him the effects of Full Metal. It's an Omni Negate, it's gonna burn you as well at some point. Basically it towers as well, can't be targeted or destroyed. It's a good card, bro. But yeah, he summons Goblin, and on resolution we just activate Majesty, revealing 2 Blue Eyes, popping both of his monsters, making him spell locked again. With no monsters left on the field, he special summons a horse, and then immediately before he's able to activate the Ignition effect, we just bounce that back to the hand with Spheres. Spheres summons our Magna effect to add in the end phase. Savas then special summons Sleepy, so maybe he didn't destroy Sleepy earlier. Maybe that was a different card. I don't know. Maybe do you play 2 Sleepy? But yeah, he activates the effect of Fuse. We chain a Full Metal to negate that. Obviously, there's no burn because there's no attack position monster. There's not really much else he can do at this point, honestly. I guess maybe you can overlay for a Typhon. I'm assuming you're not locked to anything at this point, but if you're summoning Typhon here, you're losing. Yeah, this is just GG, whether it comes down to time or not. He activates the effect of Bone Party Engrave to give his defense position Sleepy piercing damage, and then concedes the game. So we get the dub against Memento Fiendsmith. A very nice win there. A couple of illegal plays on both ends, but didn't really matter in the end. Like I said though, that was the final round of the night. Round 1 we played against Thomas on Testina. It reminds me of Thomas the Tank Engine for some reason. Thomas the Testina Engine. Yeah, he was going blind second and actually did a good job breaking boards, but we did eventually win that match. Round 2, we played against Daryl on Chaos Fiendsmith Malice. He was able to set up a half board, and our only engine was Black Metal Dragon, and he had called by for Spheres, so game 1 was a complete wash. Game 2 going first, we opened Black Metal Double Judgment Lancia. He Fu was, and there's no point playing into it, so we just pass, and we turn skip him with the Lancia. We top deck Wishes on turn 3, but it gets hit with an Ash, and because we have Judgment and not Strike, we're unable to do anything about it. So if it was Solemn Strike in this situation, we probably would have won that game. But yeah, unfortunately we lose that one, and then round 3 we play against some 60 card hero Predaplant pile and just completely demolish it. I only seen hero cards. I draw them game 1, and then game 2 he goes first and just T-sets. So yeah, 3-1 today. Not quite the back-to-back win, but it is yet another top 4 performance, and we take those, baby. 4th place today. We'll take the loss to Malice, I don't mind. Especially when we didn't really see any of the Blue Eyes engine in that entire match, I don't think, right? Like, it was just Black Metal Dragon, and then Black Metal Dragon into Fuwa with, like, Double Judgment and stuff. Probably could have held the Lancia to see if he was going to commit to anything or not, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. We'll take the loss. It's Malice. Malice is a spooky deck. And we didn't see optimal hands. You know, like, it happens. It happened. It could have been the back-to-back, but 4th place, we are still on the board for extra prizing. So let's hopefully pull some absolute bangers, bro. We got Embodiment of Apophis, Sword Soul of Taya, Trickstar Band, Drumatis, we got number 107, Lumina, Cutter Shark, and Nixie's Monster, Perform Mage, Shadow Maker. A Perulia was pulled. So I don't think we'll get a Perulia. 7th Tachyon, definitely on the menu though. Collector's Rare. Oh, wait, Spell at the back. Could be 7th Tachyon, baby. We have a Cloud Dragon. Water Dancer. We got Beast Bestiary. Gladiator Beast Bestiary, of course. Rank up Magical Force. Trickstar Diffusion. Gladiator Beast Timer Editor. And, come on, 7th Tachyon, please. Ooh, Union Activation. Ultra Rare. Is this good? Probably not. Probably not really worth a whole lot. A couple of pound at most. All right, OTS pack. Can we finally pull the ultimate rare Sage? Doesn't look like it. We have a Plush Fire. Yeah, it's not an ultimate rare. Evil Hero Sinister Necrom. Can we get another super sequence? Oh, number 104, Masquerade. 7th Tachyon target, but unfortunately not worth anything anymore after the reprint. Maybe, yeah, I don't think it's worth anything at all. Nothing too crazy in this prize pack opening. We do still have the Apophis Trap to get rid of, though, so we can put that towards Evoked in the next one. We'll see.